Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Made You Book. My name's Gretchen, and today I'm gonna take a stab at predicting the Booker Prize shortlist for 2023. So that announcement is coming in just a few days. Today is Monday. Yeah, today is Monday, and the announcement will happen on Thursday, the 21st of September. And full disclosure that these books that I have put together, I have not yet read the entirety of the long list. I had every intention to. Life just kind of got in the way, and also there were a couple of my books that were delayed in customs, so I literally just got my hands on them very recently, and I'm not going to have a chance to read everything by the time that shortlist is announced. I don't understand why. I'm just gonna rant for a second. I don't understand why the Booker does this. I would think that they would want to promote the books. They would want people to buy them while there's buzz and excitement about them. But some of these aren't even available until well into October. And then for those that cannot read physical books, a lot of them aren't available on audio yet in the States either. So even for the ones that we can get physical copies of. So I just wish that, I really wish that the Booker would look into maybe changing the way that they set up their prize window of what the eligibility is, just so that more people can get their hands on the books. But that's okay. I usually find a way to get my hands on all of them, but I do think about all of the other readers that want to, that aren't able to. And I think obviously for the authors, it would be better if while there is that buzz that they can get their books in the hands of more people. But anyway, that was a rant. That was my soapbox. I will get down and we'll talk about the 6 books that I think are going to make it through to the next round. Now, having not read all of them, I'm not going to necessarily go into like long descriptions of them. I'm not even going to really give a synopsis. I'm just going to tell you the book and the reasons why I think it is going to make it to the next round, which is the short list. So these are in no particular order. I'm actually going to start with one that I haven't read, and that is going to be Study for Obedience. Now, I have really been looking forward to reading this one, and I ordered it, and I literally just got it, and I realized that it's being released in the US tomorrow, so I should have just, I should have saved my money and just waited to buy a US copy. But anyway, this one, the reason I think that it's going to make it is, it sounds like it's quirky enough to make it to the next round. I've heard that there's kind of like sinister undertones to it, and it's a little unsettling. And I think that this book has a pretty strong message or point that it's trying to get across. Now, having not read it, I don't fully understand what that is yet. But in the few reviews that I have seen, it is very polarizing. And when you have a book that seems to just be on both different sides, I think that almost like propels the interest of the judges to move it forward. And because they're so polarizing, I think that sometimes even with the group of judges that they have to compromise. So it might not be all of the judges' favorite, but they have to give the one that really likes it, you know, the benefit of the doubt. So that's just kind of where my brain's going. I don't know how the voting process goes. I don't know how they determine or come to the final list, but to me, this just seems like it is that book that is polarizing enough to make it. And I know that there's usually kind of one that is always on the short list that you're kind of scratching your head over. And I think that this one just kind of fits that bill. So we'll see. And like I said, that's with me not having read it. I could be completely wrong, but I'm actually hoping that it makes the list because it just gives me an excuse to read it. And I know we shouldn't judge books by the cover, but oh, I love that. It's beautiful. All right. Anyway, so that was my first prediction. So the second one is the other book that I haven't finished. Now I have started to read this one, so I have a pretty good feeling about it. I am not too far into it, but so far I am absolutely hooked, and it is moving really quickly, and it's riveting, and I think this is going to be one of those books that just kind of shocks me. There's going to be some type of action in here. There's going to be something that just drops my jaw on the floor. And I've also heard a lot of good buzz about it from other people and their prediction videos as well, that I feel pretty comfortable putting it on what I think the Booker judges are going to move forward with. And that is Prophet Song by Paul Lynch. This was another book. I wish that I had it sooner because this was one that actually really intrigued me, and I wanted to get this one done by the time the shortlist is announced, and I think I will, but unfortunately I may not have my review video done by then, but we'll see, fingers crossed. But I am hopeful for this, and we'll see if it makes it. Now, the next one, now granted, this is the list that I think the Booker judges are going to pick, and that's based on, with the rest of them, that's based on me having read the book, as well as kind of what I'm hearing, and there is absolutely no way that I could not put this book on the list of what my prediction is based on the Booker judges, because I think I am the only one that hated this book or didn't like this book. Everyone I have talked to, even the users or the viewers of my channel, have commented how much they loved this book, and I can 100% see why everybody loves this book. It just didn't do it for me, but it did it for everybody else. So I think that Western Lane by Chetna Maru is going to make the shortlist. I think that this is, aside from me, I think this is the book that most people commonly agree on, saying that they loved it. So I feel fully comfortable in saying that I think this is gonna move to the next level. I'm still gonna have to finish the rest to see if I think that it's going to win. But I know that this is kind of the sleeper. This is the darling of the long list at this point. Everybody has great things to say about it. Unfortunately, I just didn't connect with it, and it didn't do anything. It really didn't do anything for me, and I feel bad saying that, but it just didn't. But I see the literary merit in it. I see how everybody else could enjoy it and love it, and we'll see if I'm right and it makes the shortlist. So the next one is a book that I read and I actually loved. It was actually, oh, let me see. Was it the first, or no, it was the second book that I finished, I think, because I had already read this other Eden prior to the long list being announced. But that is Old God's Time by Sebastian Barry. I think that this is the year for the Irish. I think that there are so many good pieces of Irish fiction on this long list that I absolutely had to make sure to include at least one. There is another one on this list too, but this book I really enjoyed. This is a book that I still think about. I am kind of haunted by this book sometimes. There were certain parts in here that were just, you know, they made me uncomfortable. I found them disturbing, and I feel like this book has had an impact on a lot of people as well. And for the most part, I'm seeing generally positive reviews about this. Now, of course, there are some that disliked it very much, but I think that the subject matter is very relevant. It's very current. And I just think that it is something that the Booker judges are going to take into consideration. And yeah, we'll see. So that's my fourth pick. The fifth book that I think is going to make it, and this is one that it's kind of like Western Lane. I personally wouldn't see this on my personal shortlist, but I think that it is going to get shortlisted, and we'll talk about those reasons. So that is The House of Doors by Tan Tuan Eng. Now, if you've seen my video on this book, I loved the book. I thought it was excellent. I would recommend everybody read it because it's a beautiful story. However, it just doesn't have that Booker quality for me. Like, you can watch my video to see all of my opinions on it, but I think that it is going to make it because of his past reputation and his past record of being not only longlisted, but also shortlisted. I also think that this book has a really good chance of winning for those reasons. I actually am not sure. I'll have to do some research into that, of how many people or how many authors have been shortlisted and longlisted before they ended up winning. I know that there's probably some that have been, I know Margaret Atwood, for example, I think that she has only won one Booker for Testaments, and she was nominated several times. But I think that that is a reason. And I also think that Tan Tuan Eng just has such a solid relationship with the Booker Prize in general. I believe he was a judge for one of the years. It may actually have been this past year's International Booker. I can't remember. But I do know that he has a past with the Booker, not only as a nominated author, but I believe a judge as well. And he has connections to a lot of to some of the judges, and I think that this kind of is that given. Like, I would not be surprised at all if this made it. So that's my fifth one. And my final, no one is probably surprised if they have seen my video for this, and that is The Bee Sting by Paul Murray. I cannot say enough good things about this book. I think this book has everything in it. All of the subject matter is current. It's everybody is going to be able to find something in this book to connect to, and it's been a really long time since I've read a book like that. So I think just for the overall audience that this book can reach, I definitely think that it has the capacity to make it to that short list. And also, it has kind of a, what's the word I'm looking for? It has kind of like, I hate to use the word polarizing again, but it has like that polarizing ending where people are still unsettled about it. They're still unsure about it. And once again, just like this Old God's Time book, I am still constantly thinking about this book. I think about this book every day since I've read it. And there are parts, especially with that ending, that my heart still starts to race when I think about those last 30 some pages of this book. So I think that it's gonna make it. I certainly hope that it makes it. And if I had my way, and that's still having a handful of books to still read, this would be the book that I would want to win. So we'll see what happens. That list is gonna be announced in a couple days. I am actually, because this was the list that I think that the Booker panel is going to choose, I'll do another video prior to that shortlist announcement to talk about the books that I would want on my personal shortlist. I know we talked about a couple of them here, but just to give you the thoughts on those books that I really did enjoy and what I would see or would like to see move to the next round. So thank you so much for humoring me and watching this video. If you have any predictions or if you have any preferences of what you would like to see make it to the short list, let me know in the comments, and start telling me about what you think the winner is going to be, because although it's not until November 26th, so we have a really long time. That's just hitting me now. Like, we have almost another, actually over 2 months before they actually announce the winner. So hopefully, if you guys are still going through the short list, some of these videos that the YouTube content creators have been putting out are inspiring you to read some of those books. And yeah, we won't know the actual winner for a while still, but I'll say, if you plan on reading The Bee Sting, you might need that time because it's a really big book. So yeah, that's it. Now I'm rambling. I'm sorry. We will see you for the next review video. Like I said, I'm working through Prophet Song right now, so that should be my next video. And then I can start the last 3 that I have yet to finish. So until then, we will see you next time. Take care, everyone, and we'll talk later. Bye.